Well, hello again, and welcome back to Timasius playing Minecraft. I think I'm adapting the name for this build as the Basin, because it's a basin. Nice lower area in the center and mountainous region on the top. Beautiful area. It's something that we were actually working for, trying to decipher and figure out what we wanted. We found kind of the perfect seed, so I will be providing the seed details. It's just there's so much to do and so little time, so I also wanted to thank some of the people that I've talked to about it and I've already done it a few times actually. um, but some of the feedback on giving the the ahs, all these things. And funny enough, I've been in sales for most of my life, so coming up with other useful terms or blocking out the ums and ahs were part of it. One of the first things that you learn, the most important thing that you learn within sales. And for some reason, I was a little bit nervous, a little bit just trying to figure out what to do. I was trying to explain what the channel was, what I'm doing, what things are, what all this stuff. And man, I just dropped the ball completely on that. So I apologize. Go ahead and make a tally count on it and put it into the comments on this video on how many ums and ohs I do on this. Hopefully none. I know I've already done a couple. Don't count those. I was trying to line up the video so those don't count. Anything after from right now, that's what counts. So welcome back, and wanted to just fly around to give a little bit more. Oop, that's not loading yet. Visuals of what's going on. Some of the stuff that Viking's doing. His floating island, Rock the Dead, and his girlfriend, what they're doing, and all these things. And we've got Iron Stand down here as well doing stuff. But today we're going to be focusing on this building right here. This is my second building. The first buildings that I just showed were the almost did it. Farms over here, the book farm and the paper farm. That was what we were building. So these over here, so taking the sugar cane and transforming it and all that stuff, it was made for a specific reason. When you are in Minecraft and you're building a new world, you need to have different reasons for stuff. What I found is that I want to get the best upgrades for my items that I possibly can. And that takes a lot of books. So that was the book farm for it. The next thing I need is a bunch of emeralds. Bone meal's not bad either, but it starts here. Wheat. Within this, all the mods that we're doing, this is what's very crucial for it. So we need a wheat farm that can feed into other stuff. So I will get into what these feed into, like these secret buildings right here. But starting with the wheat farm, but just a simple... Oh, Iron Stand's been spamming a creeper farm for hearts. Well, he needs that because he had to start a new server. So, heck yes, brother. We'll let him know that. Perfect. So the design on here, I'm going to get into that, the details, what's going on. This as well, the sign. I know it just says wheat right now. I will get into it. This has been a little bit of a headache, but let's go. Whoa, okay, so I am in my ugly testing farm. This is still within the same world. You can see here, I am still within here. This is actually where my starter base was that I just kind of dug out and converted to this, the ugliest blocks you could find, and super lit up, just so I could test out some different things. It's a really cool little thing there. But I want to show you some of the blocks that I have on here. I've got simple stone. This means stone bricks. This means stone stairs, stone slabs, all of these different items. I've also got brick bordered stone. Simple. However, we went over this on the last episode. You can connect it. So I can connect it, make a plus. I can fill it out. Make a 3x3. That's really nice. Chiseled stone bricks. This is a nice little addition. I think it's a nice little point that you can use on your corners and things like that. What's interesting about this as well is if you're using the Rechiseled mod, which you see at the top, this is a chip, this is a Rechiseled. I can actually extend this over and do kind of the same thing I can do with that block. which you can do on standard Minecraft. This is within that. I mean, look at these little cool alterations you can do. If I dig one out, look at how it changes it up. Dig another one out, look at how it changes it up. It's nice. It's fun. I've also got some brass bars. Beautiful. Gives almost a copper look. I love that sound. Listen to this. Ooh. But a very nice look. It is slightly different than the copper. It doesn't age your patina. And then I've also got, this is something that's very interesting. This is a cobbled deep slate honeycomb paving path. Macaw's Pass and Pavings. I know in the last episode I did a lot of Macaw's. Macaw's has some really cool stuff on there. So with Macaw's, I can put in these nice little paving paths that just add on to it. You can still see the underblock, the green on there, but you get to see this nice little texture on there. And if I look at, let's just type in paving path. Look at all the stuff on here, the different types, red sandstone, mud bricks, mossy cobblestone, all this stuff. So have fun with it, test it out, check and see. Let me get back to the build we're going over. And now that we are back at the build, I'm going to go around it to give a little bit of an explanation, some description. I like using some of these types of blocks, grass blocks, the leaf blocks and things like that, stuff that like vegetation that just really fills it in. Typically in the worlds I've done, it's flat. I just want grass. I want all that stuff. I think adding in moss blocks and stuff, which is something I want to do here, adds in a lot of texture with it. But just adding in this extra layers of grass, I mean, look at how that looks. I think it just fills it in nicely. I have my clean areas and then I have my vegetated areas. You can mine it down. Some people like it, some people don't, but I love it. Different types of lanterns. There's an iron bowl lantern, your typical oxidized copper lantern, just varying those. Putting these in, this is the brass scaffolding that mixes in with the brass bars. I think it just gives it a nice little texture. Same with here, something that backs up the light that's behind it. And then again, on that last video that I made beforehand, using these walls, doing a separate secondary block here where I've got 1 block, 2 block, but then there's a wall. You see all the variations within this, how it just adds texture within it. When you're sitting back here, depending on how you're moving along this wall, you get to see more and more from it, which I love. It's something I've seen from like the Hermitcraft series and a lot of different builders on there. Adding those textures where it's not just one flat block. Adding in the different colors, adding in these oxidized copper trapdoors, I can still see what's going on in all of these components. It's a window, but it's not glass. It gives it a lot more texture within it. And then applying the same with the brass bars and the brass scaffolding on here into the roof line of adding in our Kiwi shingles from Domo Ornamentum. And then some standard stone bricks and added in these wall bricks again. Putting a little bit of an additional overhang here. Into the corners, this is something fun I love doing, adding the walls into these. But when you get to a corner right here, where I've got just stone brick, you put in some kind of wall. This is a standard Minecraft brick, cobbled deep slate wall, but it's a standard wall. And it adds this extra texture that allows you to see these extra insides of these walls. So fun texture. This was the technically 3rd building. I've got the sugarcane farm, the book building farm, and then this was what was needed next. And I wanted this super huge and super large because of these letters. I wanted them to flash. I wanted them to be fancy, and we will get into that in a minute. This is that extra texture because from the top, I've got stone bricks. So I can throw in these honeycomb paving, the deep slate honeycomb paving, in some extra sections and break it up some. Same with using the bordered stone here. The chiseled stone bricks. Something that breaks off the corners and ties stuff in, but is consistent. Look at the consistency within that. It's nice and even with the stone bricks. I can build the structure, but then I can add in these extra textures of the brick walls. Deep slate brick walls. Adding in lights in here. It's just a nice touch. In fact, let's give it a little bit of a look. Let's set time to night. Look how nice that looks. I will say the the copper bulbs here, they don't add a lot of glow. If these were not oxidized, they lighten up a ton. They're super bright. But once they oxidize, and I think the oxidized color works way better with this, but they don't glow very bright. But you still see a lot of the glow from the different components on here. It lights up the whole entire side of the building from adding in some of these extra textures and these extra lights. The next thing I did within here, which we will get into this, Timasius for Prez. Long story, we'll get into it. But inside of here, hey, what kind of wheat do we offer? I wanted a different type of texture. This is something I don't do normally, but I've seen a lot on different YouTube Minecraft builders. I watch Hermitcraft like crazy. So Hermitcraft does a lot of this where I have a good consistent texture out here in block pattern. Then when I go in here, I've got a lot of spruce. I've got a lot of darkstone. I still do have this, but it's separated from what's out there. I'm trying to break away. I think it's very interesting when people build an exterior and their interior is different. I'm so used to making an exterior, and it's the walls for my interior build. That's not how houses are. That's not how buildings are. That's not how any of this stuff is built. So I'm trying to incorporate this some to make it a little bit more unique and a little bit different. Here, I've got a lot of display cases. This is kitchen cabinet stuff from Macaw's Furniture, but like you're at a shop. That's where your shop workers go into, employees only, wheat farm. So, hey, what type of wheat do we offer? Fancy types. So let's go back into our growery. This is where I really changed the interior. Look at this. Doesn't look anything like the exterior. It's all calcite and diorite. And here's my grow farm with my grow lights. All the different types of wheat and wheat variations. That's pink wheat, yellow wheat, blue wheat, whatever this is. Move on to the upstairs. This is not really made to be accessible. I could put a ladder up here, but it's not really used for that. I made this because I wanted that big sign up top. So got my little bed, my bed seat, and then a ton of redstone. So let me first and foremost activate. On, off. Wait, hold on. I'm not the king of redstone, I promise you that. It confuses me all the time. I need to finish these up because I actually blocked this to start. Redstone and I are frenemies. Finish that up. Finish that up. Finish that up and that. Oh, finish that up. Now we switch it on and off. Switching it on will get it to start. Once it feeds into these repeaters, I have to click it off so it just repeats around. You'll see. You'll see. You can hear the villagers saying, I don't know either. So you see how it transfers around, clicks into this system, and then transfers back and then starts again. And as it connects and triggers here, it connects and triggers all the way across. If you look at the big picture, it does all of these. And, oh, would you look at this? Wheat farm, but what's it going to do now? Ooh. EGAT. It works. It's got a good little staggered pattern that just lights up. Oh, man. You know what? Let's check this out. Look at that. Stands out way clear. Ooh, it's a wheat farm. Ooh, wee. Love it. Love it. Look at that proud boy. He's such a proud boy, he is. Look at him. So, this looks all fancy and nice and like I'm a redstone genius. I am not, however. This was terribly difficult and confusing. So I am going to do a little bit of a quick build on what it took for me to make this. Fast forwarded some because it was boring and it took a long time and it was a lot of recording and it didn't work. Hey, I know. I get it. I know. All right, so here's me building some redstone. Yeah, no, those didn't play it right. Hey, break it again. I'm a master. Come on, this is easy. Get rid of that, get rid of that. Start over, start from scratch. Redstone some comparators. Does it work? Nope. Not placed the same way. Nope. Nope. Break those. Start from scratch. I'm a master builder of redstone, by the way, at this point. Random block. Nope. Still on the same. Hey, the face is faced now. I want it. So comparator. Yep. That works. Nope. No. Both those are wrong. All three of those. Delete them again. Is it on the top? Nope. That's not good. What about on the exact opposite angle? Hey, it's two broke ones. We'll fix those. Man, I am a master at this. All right, it works. I think so. So now I am using the schematic cannon. I'm going to scan it. And this is how I'm such a good builder, because I just run into my base, build it, copy it, make sure I have all the stuff that's needed. And hey, put it over the... yep, that's right. There we go. Yeah, this is way sped up. And I have the second letter done. Almost. And comparators in place. What's next? Easy enough. I don't have to keep looking at the same thing because I am ADD as could be, and I just keep forgetting. So I'm just going to copy and paste it the whole entire time. What a wonderful thing it could possibly be. And delete all the stuff out there. And look at how great it is. Hey, this is the finishing up. I just built all this by myself, and I have a really good video app that just made me look great. Boom. So typically when you're making a wheat farm, you're going to have to make a wheat area and mine a lot of wheat, or just mine it yourself. Within the create mod, you get to make things like this, the easy villagers. So let's look at the easy villagers real quick. You can actually pick them up. You can right click the villagers to put them into these blocks. A trader villager, you can trade with them. An auto trader, an auto trades. A farmer, you can put them in there with whatever crop you want. So I put in wheat. A breeder, they breed. You put a couple of them in there and they do the little thing, and that's good. Converter, iron farm, incubator. Iron farm's actually really handy. We'll get into that, but inventory viewer, all that stuff. So basically what I did was put in, hey, here's my wheat. Here's my villager. Made of a bunch of villagers. That is 5x4, so 20 total. And then I have a standard storage system or something like that. Clay ball. I think it's like 42 or 40. I think it's 42 wheat that you need to put in. Clay ball, 42 verdant sprig. Because that's another thing that comes from this. This isn't from the natural vanilla world, but this thing is just a waste of time. And then the wheat seeds, those turn into, actually, wheat seeds turn into bone meal. The sprigs turn into trash. They go right down here. If you look at the top of the screen, it says item trash can. It just gets tossed away. All of these are filtered in. You see how they're positioned to lead to this. They lead through these chests. And then I have all of my wheat leading out through these hoppers. And this is the actual composter. And then the hoppers that are actually leading it. So this isn't necessarily needed, but I think it's a good visual representation of what's required. When I get on the outside, you'll be able to see what it is. However, that's why I have it there right now. Left the same thing in here, even though this is going to be all of my wheat seeds, which is built into my bone meal. So anyways, thank you again for joining me and watching this video, episode 2. I hope you learned something, discovered something, found something fun or interesting, or something to build or to create your own builds. I do want to say something I meant to say at the beginning of the video, but the actual schematic for the schematic cannon for this wheat farm right here is going to be in the description. If you don't know about the create mod schematic cannon, I will be going into that soon. You can look up a lot of videos. That's where I learned most of the stuff on here anyways in the first place. But I will be going over it. But if you just want to build it, hey, make it for myself. Make it, my own thing. Oh my God, that is so hard flying. Okay, hold on. Crap. Also, on the first video and on this video, these kivy shingles right here, I have to go over something, is kind of a pain because of the fact that When you take a schematic and you scan a schematic, if you look here, look at how it says, oh, brick extra shingles. And here in the shingle material, shingle or support material, it just changes it up. Look at all the color choices. Look at how this changes over and over and over. That's exactly what it does when you try to plant them. So you scan a schematic with a specific block, put the specific block in there, and don't have any of these other crazy stuff. When you put it in there, it changes every couple clicks and places it in. So the roof shingles will look off. Tear them out, rebuild them. Don't put them in there. Make sure you have all the other components and build it. Whatever it is, it's kind of a pain. I apologize, but it looks so freaking good. I love using these. It's just you're kind of you're going to put this in, and this whole entire beautiful spruce shingle down here is going to be all these random colors. Tear it off, reinstall it. It's good to go. It's just it's currently how the mod itself works. So look at that. Look at all that light changes. I don't know. I'm coming up with the tagline. Tell me what the tagline should be, but it's Timasius, and thank ya.
Okay, let's listen to a little bit of this song.